All right, into the weekly as promised. I'm going to take a break from customs for a while until they balance things up a bit. And this does give us the opportunity to play some of the new units in a slightly more fair environment. I think this particular weekly, it has its pluses and minuses, which we'll get to later on. But it does have something in it which I'm quite interested in. I definitely think it's broken. But it does mean that you can do some really silly things. And it is the tier 6 food item Kon-pay-to. I think that's the correct pronunciation, but you can see it on screen now. Transform one pet into another from one higher tier. And that is an extremely cheap investment in order to create a higher tier unit. You don't have to sell your pet that you've already invested all the levels into. You just buy Kon-pay-to and change them into something else. Now, I guess the counter argument is that you don't know what you're going to get. So it could be something, weaker or something that doesn't work with your team. But I think it's fairly easy to play around that. And a lot of the time, when you're moving from one tier to another, it's going to be a straight upgrade no matter what. Certainly in customs, you can easily arrange your pack in such a way that you're always going to be getting something better. But there are also many situations where you would want to use it regardless. So for instance, you're getting close to 9 wins. Maybe you have your scaler, and in this pack, it's Husky is the sort of default wide scaler that everyone is turning to. You get close to the end, you feel like the scaling benefit you're getting is slowing down. Maybe you actually want to switch to having perks on your team. So you just buy Kon-pay-to onto the Husky and you immediately turn it into a tier 6. And likely your Husky's going to be at level 2 or 3 already. So it's just an incredibly cheap way of pivoting without actually selling anything. And the reason I wanted to use it is less about playing it for the strength and more playing it for the meme. And what I really wanted to do was take a tier 1 unit and Kon-pay-to them 5 times to get tier 6. And combined with that, I also want to have Doberman. So the Doberman is not going to work until the tier 1 has become tier 5. And actually, I think I made a mistake there, did I? Maybe I made a mistake with the level ups, I'm not sure. But in the end, I just sold the pigs. We got the Doberman. We take the fish level up as well. We get cow and husky. And I think here, although I'd get a duplicate cow, I'm going to take the husky and the rhino. Not sure why, really. I guess maybe I just wanted another good ability on the team, since we know that the Doberman is not going to work until I get the tier 5 unit. And a lot of teams taking the Frostwolf and leveling it up with Ogopogo to get multiple cold triggers. I think they actually got the Frostwolf to level 3 there because of the stacking. Frostwolf is definitely one of my favorite new units, but it's not particularly relevant in this build. I really felt like I needed the strong late game units to carry the team to such a point where I can actually afford to just roll for Kon-pay-to, and we can't start doing that until turn 11. So we've already got the level 3 fish, which we're going to start upgrading, but we really need level 2 husky as soon as we can to give us that free scaling that can give us the sort of comfort blanket to actually just roll. And luckily here, because Bunyip and Murmel are so good, maybe Bunyip more than Murmel in this particular pack, a lot of people are keeping them. And so Rhino gets the double damage against them, which is very nice. And actually here I think I end up rolling multiple. Yeah, I'm going to end up with a lot of Rhinos frozen pretty shortly. And that's because I also didn't want to, win too quickly. I really need the chance to go later and actually find all the food items that we need. So yeah, another team that had kept multiple tier 1s there, so the Rhino does some good stuff. So now we're on to 7, but at least we do have 2 extra lives intact. Okay, here's the other Rhino. And I could buy them, but at this point I now want to spend all my gold on Kon-pay-to until I get the tier 6 unit. So we're just going to keep rolling. There's the first one. So the fish becomes a crab, which is actually pretty good because it's going to be a level 3 crab, and so it's going to get a lot of extra health. Maybe I should have moved it up in the order here instead of having it behind the cow. But thankfully the opposing team is also only a level 1.5 husky. I think a lot of the late game turns here, it really depends on if you get matched with people who found level 2 or 3 husky very quickly, or maybe stacked multiple huskies. But we got lucky there. The crab becomes a rabbit, the rabbit becomes a llama. And so now we need 2 more Kon-pay-to if we win this next turn, but we could potentially lose. And actually here, although it is a tier 1, it's a level 3. And yeah, that ability is just so strong when you've got the automatic level up every turn from Ogopogo. And they also had the level 3 husky, of course, which did help. So we get the level up, the transformation, and another one, and now the panther becomes a tiger. Now, tiger rhino is honestly one of my least favorite combos in the game these days. It's funny how rhino has gone from being this incredibly weak unit that no one ever took to now being this ultra strong sweeper that can just completely destroy opposing teams. I think I get a bit lucky here with the snake hits, but yeah, level 3 tiger and rhino together. Now here I get another Kon-pay-to in the shop, and I paused there because I was considering using it again since I don't like tiger rhino very much. I was going to just change the tiger into something else. But because this was the first game where I'd actually gotten a decent run, I decided not to risk it because I wasn't sure what would happen if I used it on the tiger. And I actually have checked that since then, and yes, it just changes it into another tier 6. So there we go, a tier 1 transformed all the way up to a tier 6. But we've got some extra clips here. So here's another run where I actually had a sea turtle. It wasn't a tier 1. And I transform it into the bear here, which is decent enough with husky because we could end up replacing an ailment with the honey. And yes, I think we're going to be fine here. They've got very weak stats. You know, when you're stacking this many huskies, anytime huskies like the dominant scaler, there's going to be loads of teams running multiple huskies with no equipment. So here I take the level, and we'll go for the level 3 bear. Because I'm only on 6 wins turn 14, I do feel like I need to spend the gold on the huskies there rather than roll for Kon-pay-to like I was in the previous game. But I think we're going to be okay here. The bear is going to overwrite the melon, which is very nice. I like this person's username. It says guest account 1. I don't think that's an actual guest. So I think now I'm probably comfortable just rolling. And I can't remember how long it takes me to find another Kon-pay-to. We're not going to get it this turn. But yeah, I keep getting baited by the peach. I'm not sure why. But we do find one in the end. So take your guesses now. What's the bear going to become after this turn? Another husky team, although they only have a single husky, they do have kind of stronger abilities than me, but I think we're going to be all right. Yeah, very comfortable. I can't think of what the other tier 4s are. We got llama in the last game. I guess turtle is one. That would be pretty good with husky. It's actually another rock. So, yeah, I'm not sure what I was really hoping for, to be honest, but I just wanted to keep going until I got a transformation all the way to tier 6. This game actually happened before the other game. Another team that looks relatively weak, and with all the mana snipes you do tend to remove melon a lot. I think turtle was maybe a little bit overrated in this weekly because you can also override it with mandrake as well. So there's another Kon-pay-to, and we transform the rock into a level 3 husky. So on 9 wins, now I'm just going to roll for a 5th husky just to see if I could steal a 5 of a kind at the last second. So we don't find it, so I'm actually just going to sell the rock, which was almost 50-50, and roll down for another husky. Now there must be a lot of teams doing this, you know, going for 5 huskies. I think Haps does it every single time huskies in a weekly. But yeah, plenty of other people will be doing it, and we can immediately tell that we're going to lose almost a full level 3 team with their own husky and sea lion. But it does give us the chance we need to find another husky, and we get it on the first roll. So actually here I probably shouldn't have bought the cow. I maybe should have just, because the level 3 is on 50-50 already, I probably should have just rolled for equipment like tomato or something like that. Instead, I risked it. And we're going to go with the full husky team with no equipment. And it's another husky team, surprise, surprise. But with only one husky, they're not going to be able to match the level of scaling that we have going here. So not on the last turn, but it is a 5 of a kind using Kon-pay-to to get the level 3 husky.